is flip-flop is latches and flip-flop is you have clarity about the functionality of flip-flop. So we will see the uses of what are the different use of flip-flop and use of flip-flop in digital circuit design. Okay. So the most important use is the memory element, as we have already learned that flip-flop used for the use of flip-flop is for the 1 bit save or the holding of 1 bit information, whether it is in 0, that information is in the level 0, or in state 0 or state 1. We call those information as a state, because only 2 levels are available for 1 bit. Okay, 0 and 1. So we call those levels as states. So here, because we deal with multiple number of bits, so we will utilize the single bit flip-flop for the holding of multiple n number of bits in the computation process in any of the digital circuitry. Okay, so that circuitry is register. You must have heard about the registers when we talk about the microprocessor. In the microprocessor itself, they have some internal registers for the whatever task register performs, like whatever arithmetic or logical operation it performs to do operation, all the arithmetic operation or any kind of different bit manipulation operation. To perform all those operations, microprocessor itself requires some circuitry to hold or hold those information in the form of bit streams. Okay, so the registers are the devices, are the circuitry which is utilized for the holding of any of the information, multiple number of bits information during the computation process in the digital circuitry. Okay, so we'll see about how registers we can implement with the use of different flip-flops. Okay, so I have already started the small description I have already given you in the last lecture, that the register is just a collection of certain number of flip-flops. Okay, so as we all know that one flip-flop saves 1 bit of information. So if we require if we require a circuit which can hold n number of bits, then we require n number of flip-flop, collection of n number of flip-flops. So if we talk about the collection of n number of flip-flops, so those collection of n number of flip-flop will generate certain patterns according to the number of bits. So those different collection of the patterns are called as the state of the registers. Okay, so if n number of flip-flops are there, so it will generate how many number of patterns it will generate. It can hold 2 to the power n number of patterns, because we know if n number of bits are involved in the computation process in a digital circuitry, so the number of patterns it can generate are 2 to the power n. So here total number 2 to the power n number of states it can hold, different number of states. Okay, whatever are the different combination, it can hold those combination. Okay, so here one more thing is with the register, that whenever the register holding the information, so it could be in a unidirectional or in the multiple direction. So according to the direction of the information it is holding, it is categorized into 2 categories. In according to direction, it could be unidirectional or bidirectional, and according to there also to categorize the classify the register, it is the way it entered and output. We get the output from the register, like we have two ways by which we can enter the input, we take the output, like because multiple number of bits are involved in the this circuitry, and we also know that those multiple information are in those information are in positional way, like LSB to MSB. So one by one, whether the informations we are as an input in the register, it is in the serial form or it is in the parallel form, that is also the task. Okay, also information we can take the information from the register either in serial or in parallel. Okay, so on the basis of the information, whether it is serial in parallel form, we can categorize into this is in the four categories. Okay, so is in the serial or parallel. So for combination we will get serial in, serial out. This is the one category. Another one is serial in, parallel out. This is another. Third one is parallel in, serial out, and last one is parallel in, parallel out. So any depends on what are the specification, how fast you want to perform your computation. It depends on what kind of those things, those initial information, it depends on your choice of your choice of the register. Okay, so because it all whatever type of register we choose, that will directly affect the computation type of computation time of your logical circuit. Okay, so if we talk about the serial in, serial out. Okay, serial in, serial out. So in the serial, we know that if we enter or if we take the information in serially, so what are the advantages? Only one input or one output port is required. Okay, so here the advantage with the serial information input or output, serially only one. If we require only one port, so the hardware complexity is reduced here. But the thing is that if we one by one we take the each bit we take, we give each bit one by one, so there is a problem of speed. So it takes four clock cycle to input that particular bit stream, and again four clock cycle to get all those bit patterns. Okay, so the problem with the serial in, serial out is the speed is we have some constraint of the speed, but the hardware complexity is reduced here. Another one is the serial in, parallel out. Here, I have already said that in the serial in, serial out, it takes some time to input information in the register, and also it takes equivalent time to get information from the register. Okay, so in the advantage with the serial in, parallel out is that the time is reduced little bit. How we can reduce the time to take to get the information, because it takes some time or some clock cycles, because in the register we know the functionality of the flip flop, that with the use of, if we talk about the synchronous, the information we entered with the information it get inputted in the flip flop, it goes inside the flip flop at the arrival of the clock, whether it is edge trigger or level trigger. So if we talk about the edge trigger, so at the positive edge or at the negative edge, it depends on what kind of flip flop you are utilizing. So whenever data or information is getting input in serially, we are giving input in serially, we are giving information into the register. So at each clock edge, the input will go inside the register. So it will require that number of clock pulses. Okay, and in the parallel out, only one clock pulse is required to get the information out to get information from the register. Okay, let's see about what happens when the we take the information parallel and in and serial out. So same goes inside the register in one clock cycle, but to get the data output again, the time is not that the speed is not that good. Next is parallel in, parallel out. So in one cycle, in only one cycle is required to input information and get the information. Immediately we will get the output at its output terminal. So we have four types of at the in the way the information is in we are in giving the information and we are taking the information according to four categories. Bits are increasing. So suppose the number of bits are 16 bits. Here we the information we are talking about the 4 bit. Okay, so if we talk about the 4 bit, so we require 4 number of flip flop to hold that information. So how it will hold the information? We are taking a D flip flop. Okay, so whatever we know that the functionality of the D flip flop at the arrival of the clock, whatever is at the D terminal, we will get that at the output terminal. So this is the data or transparent flip flop. So we will, because we want that information to be present at the output of the flip flop. So whatever information we are inputting, we want that information at the output terminal. So that's why we are taking here as a D flip flop. Okay, so this is a D flip flop because we are talking about the 4 bit shift register. Because we are, why we are calling this shift register? Because information is getting shifted from left to right or right to left. Okay, so what is this flip flop? It is unidirectional or bidirectional. So this particular type of what is this register? This particular type of register is a unidirectional shift register. Okay, this is unidirectional. Okay, so we'll see what is the bidirectional, but this is a simple example of unidirectional shift register. So the information is this is 1010. Okay, we want this information to get inside the register. This is a 4-bit register because 4-bit information is there. So for that thing, this is simple. Suppose this is a, if we include this symbol here inside the flip flop, so this will behave as a positive edge trigger. So we are assuming this is a positive edge triggered flip flop. So how the information will get input inside, will get inside the register? See, this is 1010. To this information, what we want this information to be present here, because output we are taking from this output, because we are talking about the serial output. So only one terminal is used for the information for the for information to get inside the register, and only one terminal we are using to get the information from the register. Okay, so how much time will it take to for this information to be present at the output terminal? So first, this is the LSB. First LSB will go inside the register. So this is 0. Okay, first clock pulse arrives at this because all the clock are given. This common clock is given to all the flip flop, and see this all those 4 flip flop are connected in serially. So the output of the first flip flop is given to the input of the second. Output of the second is given as an input to the third, and successively the output we provide the output of third flip flop is behaves as the input for the fourth flip flop. Okay, so when the information 0 is entered and clock pulse arrives at the positive clock pulse. Okay, this is suppose this is the clock. Some speed is provided here. We are not talking about. We are not interested right now about what is the width of this clock. So what I am saying, this is at the positive edge. So at positive edge, this information is transferred to here. So this is first clock, but whatever previously here, it will be shifted to here at the first. Okay, so at the next clock, what will happen? This information will be shifted to here. So at the next. Okay, so this is second. This is shifted here, and this information is shifted here. At the third clock, what will happen? This information is shifted here. This is here, and whatever is here, it got shifted here. Okay. At fourth clock, what will happen? This will be shifted here. This whatever at this position will be shifted here. Whatever it is, it will shifted here, and the last bit is shifted here. Okay. So how many number of clock edges it requires to get the first LSB at the output? It requires 4 clock edges. Okay. So though here 4 clock pulses. This is 1. This is 2. This is 3. 4 clock pulses we need to get this 1 bit at the output of this register. Another 4 clock pulses we need to get this information. Another 4 clock pulses we need to get this information, and another 4 clock pulses we need to get this information. Okay, so total how many number of clock pulses we need? 60 number of clock pulses we need to get all the bits of those 4-bit pattern. Okay, so this is a serial in, serial out shift register. Next is serial in, parallel out shift register. Okay, here what is happening here? Only because if we try to get the information parallelly, we require parallel lines. So here again, if we add parallel lines, so the number of wires will get increased. So obviously the hardware complexity get increased. So here is the serial in, serial out. Next is serial in, parallel out shift register, because the information is getting shifted here. That's why we call this shift register. Next is serial in, parallel out shift register. So what is the serial in, parallel out shift register here? Again, we are taking D flip flop. Suppose this is a positive S triggered D flip flop. So because we are talking about the 4-bit, so how many number of flip flop we require? We require 4 number of, because 4 bits are here, so 4 number of flip flop we require to implement this serial in, parallel out shift register. So here at each output, we have connected one wire. So those parallel wires, from those parallel wires we can take parallel information. Once the information, all the bits got shifted at the output of each flip-flop, we can take parallel information. Okay, we don't need to wait for the next 4 clock pulses. So how it will happen here? Common clock is utilized here. One clear clear terminal is provided here, so that whatever it was already whatever information it at whatever state that this register is in the pre had at the from the previous operation, it will get cleared with this clear pin. Okay, so common clear input pin is provided with each flip flop of this register. Common clock pulses is there, and here successively they are connected in serially. So the input information is given as an input only at the first flip flop. So the successive flip flop will get information from the previous flip flop. Okay, how it is, how it will take, just like the serial in serial out register. It first, the serial input is going inside the register at the input terminal of first flip flop. The output terminal of the first flip flop is connected with the input terminal of the next. Again, for the next flip flop, the output terminal is connected with the input terminal of the next, and also again the input terminal of the last flip flop is connected with the flip flop 3. Okay, so this is like a chain. So whenever the information, suppose this is a 4-bit information, again 1011, this is information 1011. So first, how many number of clock pulses do we need to get the information from this in this register? So inputs is 1011. Whatever previously the state, whatever the register is in the previous in the state from the previous operation, whatever information state it hold, it will first, whether it what we can do from the clear pin, it will, we can clear it, and after clearing it, the state of all the flip flop will become 00. Okay, so this is about, because common clock pulse is connected. So for the first, when the first clock arrives and 1 is given at the first flip flop input terminal, so at the first clock period, this is one information will is shifted to the output of we will get this 1 at the output of first flip flop. In the second clock pulse, here at first flip flop input we give 1, but at the second flip flop input what we have 1, so it will be shifted here, this is 1, and this is also shifted here. Okay, so the conditions will be 1 1, what, and initially it is 0 0. In the third clock pulse, this 0 will be shifted here, this one will be shifted here, and this one will be shifted here. So the flip flop state will be 0 1 1, and here again from the previous state it is 0. In the fourth clock, what will happen? This 1 will be shifted here, what this is shifted here, this will shifted here, and whatever it is here from the previous operation, it will get shifted here. So the after the fourth clock pulse, what will be the state of this flip flop? It will be 1 0 1 1. So we'll get here, we will get 1, here we will get a 0, here we will get 1, and again we will get 1. So immediately after the fourth clock pulse, we will get 1 0 1 1. So because 4 parallel wires are connected at the output terminals of each flip-flop, so we can get that information from those output 1011. Okay, so this is the serial in, parallel out, shift register. This is again here shifting is going on from left to right, so this is the unidirectional shift register. So this unidirectional serial in, parallel out shift register. Okay, so next is parallel in, serial or parallel out shift register. So this is the common for the information is we are giving information in parallel form, but the information we can get in either in serially or in parallel way. Okay, it depends on certain pins of this shift register. How we can do this, we'll see here. If you notice, because we are talking about simple 4-bit shift register, this is again this is a unidirectional shift register, so only in one direction information will get shifted. So again, if we notice, this is D flip flop, this is D flip flop, this is D flip flop, this is D flip flop. Okay, so because we are talking about the 4 bits, so how many number of flip flop we need? We require 4 number of flip flops, because 4 bits are involved here. So here, whenever this is serial data in, and because we are talking about the parallel data in, okay, so parallel if we so to get to provide data parallelly, what we need to do, we need to provide the connection of those individual bit to each input of the flip flop. So what we are doing here because 4 flip flops are there, so 4 input terminals of those flip flop are connected with the individual bits of the bit pattern. Okay, so suppose this is IA, IB, IC and ID. So these are the 4 information bits. So these are directly we need to connect with the input terminals of, or input terminals are the inputs of the flip flop. Okay, so what will happen, how we can connect? Here one common terminal is used here, load or shift terminal, which we can with the use of this terminal we can input information either in parallel form or in serial form. Okay, and there is one common clock pulse is provided here. Okay, so this indicates this is a positive edge trigger. So whenever you see a bubble with this symbol, so that will become negative edge triggered flip flop. Okay, so this is a difference. So IA, IB, IC and ID, these are the 4 information which we want to enter parallelly. Okay, so for that to happen, what we have to do, because at each clock pulses changes occurs. Okay, so suppose clock pulse arrives, positive edge clock pulse arrive. For before that, if this terminal is 1, okay, before that, because I'm saying that it depends on this common terminal, this controlling terminal. This is called as a controlling terminal. Okay, so if the controlling terminal value is 1, so what will happen? If it is 1, here one NAND gate is utilized here one NAND gate is utilized and OR gate is utilized, which the output of the OR gate behave as a input of individual flip flop. Okay, so here for the first flip flop, what will happen? See, inverter is connected with this load, and the input of the output of this inverter is connected with the input of the NAND gate, and also same this load is connected with one AND gate. Okay, so the normal load shift pin is connected with the AND gate, and its complement is connected with this another NAND gate. AND gate, sorry. This is 1 and this is 2. Okay, so whenever we want the information to be entered in parallel or in serial, so this is this information is ending with this complement value of the load here. If we observe each and every flip-flop inputs, so if we observe this is first information, this is second, this is third, this is fourth. So for each and every information, the information is ending with this load values. Okay, so the information is ending with information, the complement of this load is ending with the information. Okay, so to get the information, to input the information parallelly, what we need to do, this is load value should be 0. Okay, so if the load value is 0, what will happen? So if the load value is 0, this complement will be 1. So the multiplication of this this is ending with input, so this is 1 and this is IA, so this become IA, or the information, this will become second information, this will become third, and this will become fourth information. What about this output of this first AND gate? Because load value is 0, this is ending with serial data in, so the output of first AND will be 0. Again it's 0, this is 0, and this is 0. So if we observe this, the input of OR gates are the outputs of these two AND gates. So this is 0, but this is the input bit. Okay, so the input of individual AND gate will be the individual bits. So whenever we give the we connect the load shift pin with the 0, it will be the information will go inside this register in parallel form. Okay, so in this way, whenever this load shift value is 0, all the input will be we will provide parallelly, we can provide parallelly inside this register, 4-bit register. Okay, so whenever this clock pulse arrives, what will happen? Immediately at this point, we will get this output values, we will get this values, input values. Okay, so if we try to take the information in terms of the if we here only during one clock pulse, at first clock pulse, actually we give the information in parallel form. Whenever load shift value is 0, immediately we can take from this parallel wires, individual parallel wires, so we can take information in parallel way. Okay, so parallel, this is the parallel data in parallel out shift register. Okay, what happens if we want to take the information which because to whenever we provide the different number of parallel wires, it increases the hardware complexity. So different different trade-offs are involved whenever hardware is increases. So like it will increase the power dissipation, it will also increases the delay. So if we have some specifications, like we are not interested in getting the high power or high delay, so we will not adopt this process of getting the information parallelly. So what we can do, we can take we are interested in giving data parallelly to this register, but we are not interested in getting taking data parallelly. So to do so, for once the information is entered parallel, we will get information serially. So only one output terminal is required to get the information serially. So once the information is entered in the parallel way, what will happen? This load shift value will become 1. Once it will become 1, it will become 0, 0, 0, 0. But already in the first clock cycle, we have already entered the information parallelly. So now it will the again same information we will give in serial form. So after 4 clock cycle, we will get all the information in serial way. First information we will get immediately, will get, next this will get shifted here, next it will get shifted here, in next cycle it will get shifted here. Okay, so this is the parallel in serial out or parallel out shift register. So in the same register, we can utilize this same register, we can utilize for serial out or parallel out. This on whenever we want to implement some circuitry to convert parallel to serial. So this circuitry can be utilized as a parallel to serial conversion. Sometimes we need to convert data in parallel form to serial form. So to this particular shift register we can utilize for parallel to serial conversion process. Okay, so next is also this is same can be utilized for the serial in serial out data. So if we observe this, we can also utilize this. So if I is if this load shift value is 1, the serial, if we provide all the information serially, so we will get this information from serially. From this we can get information serially from this output of the last flip flop. So this is the third type of unidirectional shift register, that is parallel in serial out or parallel in parallel out in the same circuitry. Any doubt from these these three types of shift register? No? No doubt? Okay, so everyone enter your scholar number in chat box. Okay, so the last one is we have covered all the 4 types of shift register. Those are serial in on the basis of the way we are giving information, and also on the basis of we are getting information. We haven't consider the case when the direction is changing, like we have considered unidirectional shift register. Now what about the bidirectional shift register? So any we can shift from left to, because here what we are doing, the shift register shifting the data from left to right, but what about we want to shift the data from right to left? So there is a universal shift register which we can utilize for shifting the information either in the left direction or in the right direction. So to do so, to perform the unidirectional shifting operation in the shift register, we need to use some additional circuitry. So because we are dealing here, we are interested in understanding of 4-bit shift register. So we'll take the 4-bit shift register. For that, the additional circuitry is mux. So 4x1 mux is utilized here. Here again D types of flip flop, 4 bits. We are talking about the 4 bits. So 4-bit. So for each bit, one flip flop is we are using. Okay. So here what is happening, what we are trying to do, we are interested in getting this the bidirectional universal shift register. So here 4x1 mux is here S0, S1 are the values, are the pins which can control the modes. So what are the modes we will get, because we are talking about the 4x1 mux. So how many number of modes we can get? We can get 4 modes, because it will give 4 combinations. So the modes are the parallel in data, shift left, shift right, or it can hold that whatever data is there, it can hold that data. Okay, so sometimes we need to hold the data for longer period. To do so, we have this universal shift register. So according to those mode control pins, it can hold data to certain number of clock pulses, because we know that, because we are here clock pulses, clock signal is connected commonly with each flip flop. So clock will come, okay, periodically clock will come. So according to the clock arrival, the changes we will get the changes in the register state. So if we try, if you want, if you don't wish to change the state of this register, so that mode we will utilize the hold mode. Okay, how it will happen we will see. So here the 4x1 mux, because 4x1 mux, 4 number of inputs, those 4 number of inputs will be decided by this mode control pins. Those are S1, S0. Clear pins are connected with all the flip flop. Clock is the common clock which is connected with all the flip flop. So the 4 modes are, suppose the inputs are I0, I1, I2, I3. So accordingly we will provide the information. Okay, so here this I3 of all the mux, because 4 bits are there here, so 4 different mux will connect. So these I3 pins of all the flip flop, all the mux is connected with the input parallel bits. So this is 1 bit IA, IB, IC and I. These are the 4 different bits. Okay, so and their mode control pins are commonly connected. So if mode control pins are changing, so it will change the modes of all the mux. Okay, commonly it will change the modes of all the mux, not for one mux. Okay, so here this I1 pin, input pin, is for the serial input for shift right, serial input for shift right, and this I2 is for serial input for shift left. So whenever you want this information to be shifted serially in right direction, so we will have to provide those pattern at this pin I1. Whenever you are interested in shifting your data serially in left direction, so we will provide serially data at this pin. And whenever you don't wish to change the data, we will utilize this pin. How we will utilize this pin? These are internally connected with each other. Okay, with each and every muxes. So here whenever we don't want to want the state of your register to get changed, so at that point we will utilize this mode I0 pin. So how we can use this I0 pin? On the basis of this I0, I1, I2, I3 are the inputs of the mux. So we know that from the basic functionality of the multiplexer, the inputs could be anything. Whatever inputs are at the input terminals of the mux, those inputs will get selected on the basis of the selection lines. So here selection lines we are calling those selection line as the mode control line. So this I0 here, this is connected here. This I0 of first mux is connected with the output of first flip flop. This is connected with the output of second, and so successively it is corresponding I0 values of those mux is connected with the output pins of those corresponding flip-flop. Okay, so also these I0 internally connected with the another pins of the another mux. Okay, so this I0 is internally connected with this I2. This I0 is internally connected with this I1. Okay, and this I0 is internally connected with I1 of this 4 cross 1 mux of second bit. Okay, so what will happen? So suppose what you want to do. So suppose whenever you want to input data parallelly and take data parallelly, so whenever you wish to do this thing, what you have to do, because clock arrives. Okay, before the clock arrival time, what we have to do, we need to provide those individual bits at the input terminals of individual flip-flop. That is the important thing before the arrival. So what we have to do, we need to we need to choose the inputs of the mux accordingly. So I have already said that this I3 of each mux are connected with the individual bits of those parallel inputs. So to get the information parallelly and to take the information parallelly from to give the information parallelly into this register, we need to select this I3. So I3 is connected with individual parallel bits of the input stream. Bits is connected with this I3 of all individual mux. So mode 0 will be mode control pins will be 1 1. Okay, so if we try to implement this, try to find out the truth table, what will be the modes? Okay, so suppose this is S1, this is S0. So how many combinations? 0 0 0 1 1 0 and 1 1. So whenever it is 0 0, it will hold the previous state, whatever is this whatever state it is having previously, it will be in that state only. Whenever it is 0 1, it will 0 1. So see, 0 1 is, it will select this I1 pin. So 0 1 means serial input. So whenever this input is selected, serially shifting right will happen. Whenever 1 0 is selected, what will happen? It will be serially left side shifting will happen. Okay, so shifting once for 1 0, serial shifting in left side. Whenever 1 1, so parallel input, we can provide the parallel input. So suppose S0 S1 are 1 1. So whenever 1 1, whatever at these pins, it will be, we will get at this F. So this the input this I3 pins contains parallel information we will get at this input terminals. Okay, of flip-flop from this F terminal of mux. So this is parallelly input information immediately, because once the clock pulse comes, it will immediately be transferred to the output terminal of those individual flip-flops. So those flip-flop, the output pins of those individual flip-flop are connected with some output. Those individual output terminals of individual flip-flops are connected with some wires. So with the use of those wires, we can take the parallel information as an output. Okay, so once the clock pulse arrives and mode control signals are 1 1, parallel input information we can give, and parallel we can take the parallel information out as a from this shift register. Then what about when we want to serially shift in the right direction. So what will be the mode? Mode will be 0 1. Once the 0 1 is there, because we are giving information here. Okay, so what will happen? This I1 is connected here. So whatever value is there, see here, it will provide, it will when 0 1 is there, the first flip flop will get information, the first bit it will get. Okay, so after the clock arrival of the clock pulse, we will get that information at this QA output, because serially we are shifting in the right direction. So initially, for the first clock pulse, we get this one information. Whatever, what about this, because this is connected with this one. Okay, so in the second clock pulse here, this is connected with this and this. So during the first clock pulse, whatever at this value I0, this is whatever at the previous condition, it got shifted to here. Okay, it will shifted to here. In the next clock pulse, whatever at this position, it we will get at this I1. Okay, and again in the next clock pulse, suppose this is 1011. In the first clock pulse, we get 11 at this one. In the second clock pulse, we get 1 at this one, and whatever it at QA, it gets shifted to here. In the third clock pulse, 0 will get at this QA. Whatever at this, it got shifted here. Whatever at this, it will shifted here. In the fourth clock pulse, 1 we will get at this one. Whatever previously at QA, it will get shifted to this. Whatever at this QB, it will get shifted to this with the pin of I1. Whatever at this, it will get shifted to here with this pin I1. And what about serial input? Serial input for shift left. Okay, just like shift right, for the shift left, what will be the mode control signal? Those are, which it is 1 0. Okay, so shift left, the pin is I2. So if the data is 1 0 1 1. Okay, so suppose this is going inside, so we want whole data to present at to shift this way. Okay, so what we want 1 0 1 1. It first data will go here, this data will get shifted here, and like this. Okay, so first one, we will get 1 here, that one will get shifted here, and we will get at that moment we'll get 0. Next clock pulse, this 1 0 position is here, so those 1 0 position will be shifted here, so this will be 1 0 and next will be 1. So when because it is serial input is provided at I1 and I2. For the right, for the left shift, it is I2. So if the I2 is selected, what will happen? We will get this information as input at D terminal of this fourth flip flop. We will get output from this QD. This QD is connected with the output of this I2. Okay, so this is input of I2. Okay, this QD is connected with this in I2 of this mux. So in the next clock pulse, what will happen? Whatever at this position will get shifted here, and whatever at this position will get shifted, will get transferred to here. Again, what is happening here? Whatever at this value, it is connected with at this value the holding position. So what okay, any doubt? No. Okay. I see QA, this I0 is connected with QB, and this is with this, and this is with Z, this. Okay. So whenever it is whenever 00 is set, we get this S0 S1 value as 00, whatever is the initial condition 0 1 0 1. Okay, so it we will get at this value, this same value we will get at the D input, same value we will get at this input, same value from through this, we'll get same value this through this, we will get this. Okay, at this. So in the next clock pulse, same state we will get at the output of each flip flop. So this is the universal shift register with the use of mux 4 cross 1 mux. Any doubt from the register? Anyone? No? No doubt? Okay, so next is the counter. We'll see in the next lecture what is the counter, how we can implement the counter with the use of different flip flops. Actually, counter is just a flip flop, but in the flip flop, random information, any kind of random information we can save during the computation of the signals. But in the counter, a particular a sequence is generated, so some pattern of the sequence is generated in the counter. That's why because it generates certain patterns according to the logic of this digital circuits, so that is also called as the pattern generator. The counter also called as a pattern generator. So we'll see different types of counters in the next lecture. Okay, I'll upload the PPT. Okay. Any doubt from the flip flop and the register section? Okay. So we'll see in the next lecture about the counter.